Alright, this video is the introduction lab. It's to test the equipment, show you how to use Multisim, and also my deck along with LabVIEW. This first video will be on the Multisim, and the Multisim is a circuits teaching application software for analog, digital, and power electronics courses in laboratories. In EE 206, you will use Multisim a lot, as it does provide a good introduction on how circuits will work and how to measure all of your components and see what they're outputting for your circuit. We'll start by opening Multisim. And then anytime you want to start a new Multisim project, you'll go to New up in the left corner. You can start a blank project and hit Create. We can see that it made it a design 2 for us because there was already one open. But then right below that, you'll see your components, and you can place a source, place a basic component, diode, transistor, analog. You can place a CMOS component, and then an indicator or a power component. All the way to the right, we'll see that you can use a multimeter, a function generator, a oscilloscope, frequency counter, and for this lab we're going to be using the multimeter, so we will come back to that. Alright, for now we'll start constructing the circuit by placing the components needed. You can go to sources, and then from there you can select a power source. This lab is in DC power, so we'll click on that. You can hit OK, and it'll place it on your screen by just clicking. It'll automatically open the component menu again. From there, we'll choose a ground component because we'll need that to complete our circuit. And then from there, we'll drop down the sources menu to the basic components, and we can select our resistors we needed. We need two 1 kilo ohm resistors and one 10 kilo ohm resistor. Alright, and then we'll start building our circuit by connecting wires. But to get the resistors in the direction you want, we'll also pull up the multimeter from the far right, and this we'll use to measure the current, voltage, and the total resistance. So we have 3 multimeters, 3 resistors. We're going to start by checking the resistance to see that it's what we expect it to be. Alright, and then to actually check what your measurement is, you're going to have to run the program with the green play button. From there, you can double click on each voltmeter. Make sure you're measuring in ohms since you are trying to measure the resistance. And we'll just double check that all of our resistors are what they say they are for resistance. We have a 1 kilo ohm, 1 kilo ohm, and 10 kilo ohm. So now we can start connecting our circuit. If you ever need to delete a wire, you'll have to stop the circuit from running in order to do so. It won't let you change the circuit in the middle of running it. Alright, so now we'll build the circuit, and this is actually shown to you in figure 1 on your lab. And to change the direction of the resistor, you can do Control R, and it'll flip the resistor up and down, left and right, however you need it to build your circuit. And you saw earlier that you can pull wires from each component to the next. Okay, so the lab calls for a 5-volt source, so you can double click on your voltage source, and from there you can change it from 12 to 5. All right, and to measure the voltage across your resistor, you're going to have to connect in parallel with your resistor. All right, now we can run the circuit. And from there we can double click on each multimeter. Make sure you're measuring in volts since we're looking for voltage. The next step in the lab is we are going to measure the current using the multimeter. So we will have to connect in series to do so. All right, now we'll run the program, and we can double click on each multimeter and change it to amps, and we'll see the current running through each resistor. All right, next we'll show you how to use the ammeter to measure current and the voltmeter to measure the voltage. All right, so you go to place indicator. All right, now you can go to place indicator, and we will click on ammeter with the H after it meaning horizontal. You can place it in your circuit directly to measure your current. We'll add a vertical ammeter now also, and another vertical ammeter. Alright, so once your ammeters are all connected the way you want them, you can hit the green play button and run your circuit. Your values here should be the same that you got from the multimeter, as it's essentially performing the same function. Next, we'll show you how to measure using a voltmeter. You'll have to stop the program, delete out your ammeters, and you can go to place indicator. And we'll add a voltmeter, we'll add a horizontal voltmeter, vertical voltmeter, and another horizontal ammeter, voltmeter. So for your voltmeters, you'll have to connect in parallel again around each resistor. All right, and then you can run your program and you'll get your voltages across each resistor, and those also should match your multimeter values. All right, and the last thing we'll show you is how to measure your equivalent resistance over the entire circuit. We'll start by adding the multimeter from the right corner. From there, we replace our voltage source with the multimeter. All right, you can run your circuit with that and double click on your multimeter. And this will show you your overall resistance of your circuit. You can stop it, and that's all for video 1. Video 2 will show us how to use the MIDAC and LabVIEW.